Picture this. Some men walk into a room and instantly draw attention without saying a word. It's not luck, and it's not just about looks. It's about traits that make them sexually irresistible to women. These traits go deeper than a nice smile or a fancy car. They trigger a powerful psychological pull that women can't explain but feel intensely. Imagine knowing exactly what those qualities are and how to build them into your life. That's what separates the man she flirts with for fun from the man she can't stop thinking about. In this breakdown, we're going to uncover the 7 traits that make you magnetic in her eyes, the kind of man who doesn't chase because women chase him. These aren't cliches, they're psychological triggers that ignite attraction on a primal level. Once you understand them, you'll realize attraction isn't random, it's a formula. And when you embody these traits, you stop competing and start leading. Ready to see why women get hooked on certain men and not others? Let's dive in. 1. Unshakable confidence. Confidence is the first and most powerful trait that makes a man sexually irresistible to women. But here's the secret. Confidence isn't about arrogance, flexing money, or pretending to be someone you're not. Real confidence is an energy, and women feel it the moment you enter a room. It's the way you walk, the way you hold eye contact, the way you speak slowly without rushing, as if you know the world will wait for you. That energy says, I don't need approval. I don't need validation. I know who I am and I'm enough. Women are biologically wired to be drawn to confident men because confidence signals strength, protection, and leadership. Think about it. When a woman sees a man who is calm under pressure, unbothered by other people's opinions, and firm in his decisions, her attraction spikes. Why? Because it tells her that he's stable. He's not desperate, he's not needy, and he won't fall apart when life gets tough. And here's the kicker. Women test men all the time, often unconsciously. A snarky comment, a delayed text, a subtle challenge. It's her way of checking. Is this guy really as solid as he seems? If you crumble, chase, or get reactive, attraction fades. But if you stay grounded, smile, and keep your frame, she feels that deep pull toward you. Pull. Confidence also has a sexual undertone. When you're confident, you don't ask for permission. You lead. You create an atmosphere where she feels safe but excited. It's the difference between a man who nervously asks, "Is this okay?" and the man who, with calm certainty, makes her feel like she's exactly where she wants to be. Women don't want to mother you or constantly reassure you. They want to feel your strength. And here's the beautiful truth. Confidence is not something you're born with. It's something you build. It comes from keeping promises to yourself, improving your body, your mind, and your craft. Every time you face discomfort, every time you do the thing you were afraid to do, you're stacking bricks of real confidence. The more solid you become on the inside, the more magnetic you become on the outside. A man with unshakable confidence doesn't need to chase women, he attracts them. Because in her eyes, a confident man isn't just sexy, he's irresistible. He's 2. Masculine presence. If confidence is the foundation, then masculine presence is the aura that makes women stop, look twice, and feel something deep in their body. Presence means you are fully grounded in the moment, not distracted, not fidgeting, not lost in your phone or your thoughts. It's the ability to own the space you're in. Women notice when a man walks into a room and carries himself with authority without saying a single word. That's presence. It's not loud. It's not attention seeking, but it demands respect and naturally pulls people in. Masculine presence comes from a man who knows himself and isn't afraid to stand still in his power. Picture this. 2 men are in the same bar. One is hunched over, checking his notifications, nervously sipping his drink. The other stands tall, relaxed shoulders, slow movements, scanning the room like he belongs there. Guess who women are drawn to instantly? The second man, because his presence says, I don't need to prove myself. I already am enough. That calm, commanding energy makes women feel both safe and intrigued. Presence is also about attention. When you're with a woman and you give her your undivided focus, she feels it. You're not glancing at the waitress, not distracted by what's happening around you. You're locked in on her. And here's the secret. Women can feel when your attention is scattered versus when it's powerful and intentional. A man with strong presence makes her feel like the only woman in the world in that moment, and that alone creates sexual tension. But presence isn't just physical, it's emotional too. A man with masculine presence doesn't get shaken by drama or small challenges. He doesn't explode in anger or collapse in insecurity. Instead, he responds slowly, deliberately, with control. That's what creates polarity. Her emotional storms meet your steady ground. And trust me, women crave that balance. When she feels your strength of presence, she naturally leans into her feminine energy. Building presence takes practice. It's about slowing down, being intentional with your body language, breathing deeply, and removing the need to constantly do something. True masculinity radiates when you can be still and command the room. And when you master presence, you'll notice women start leaning closer, lowering their voice, and craving your energy without you even trying. Presence isn't about trying to impress, it's about embodying your power. And that's why women find it sexually irresistible. 3. Emotional control. One of the most underrated yet powerful traits that make a man sexually irresistible is his ability to control his emotions. Think about it. Anyone can act confident when life is smooth, but true strength shows when things go wrong. A woman instantly feels turned off when she sees a man lose his temper over small things, panic under pressure, or crumble when faced with rejection. Why? Because instability equals weakness. On the other hand, when a man remains calm, collected, and centered even in chaos, it radiates a level of strength that women can't resist. Emotional control doesn't mean you're cold or robotic. It means you master your reactions. A woman might test you with sarcasm, with mood swings, or by pulling away to see how you respond. If you get desperate, needy, or explode in frustration, she loses respect. But if you stay composed, smile, and maintain your frame, she feels both admiration and attraction. That calmness is magnetic because it shows her that no matter how stormy the world gets, you won't break. And deep down, women want a man who can be their rock. Think of it like this: women are emotional waves, shifting up and down, flowing with intensity. Men are meant to be the shoreline, steady, unshaken, unmovable. When a woman feels her emotions crash against you and sees that you don't get swept away, she feels safe to be more feminine, more vulnerable, and yes, more sexually drawn to you. It's not about suppressing emotions, it's about channeling them. Anger can become controlled passion. Fear can become focus. Desire can become drive. That transformation is what separates boys from men. Emotional control also makes you unpredictable in the best way. Instead of reacting instantly, you pause, you choose your words, you move with intention. That mystery keeps women on edge, in a good way, because she can't manipulate you or predict you. You're not her puppet, you're her challenge. And women are irresistibly attracted to men they can't easily sway. So, how do you build it? Through discipline. Hit the gym, practice self awareness, learn to breathe before reacting, and stop letting every little thing shake your frame. The stronger your control, the more magnetic you become. At the end of the day, women don't fantasize about men who lose control. They crave the man who is in control because that man isn't just desirable, he's unforgettable. 4. Ambition and purpose. If there's one trait that makes women lean in with curiosity and desire, it's a man with purpose. Purpose is like oxygen for attraction. It fuels everything. A man without direction, drifting aimlessly, waiting for life to hand him something, feels dull and uninspiring. But a man with ambition, with fire in his eyes, chasing something bigger than himself, that man becomes magnetic. Women are drawn to men who wake up every day with a mission because purpose signals strength, leadership, and vision. Here's the truth: women don't want to be your whole world. They want to be a part of a man's world that's already exciting, already in motion. If your only ambition is to get her attention, she'll lose interest fast. But if she sees you building, striving, and pushing boundaries, she feels an irresistible pull. Why? Because ambition shows her you're not ordinary. You're going somewhere, and she wants to come along for the ride. Attraction thrives when she feels like she has to earn a place in your busy, driven life. Purpose also makes you less needy. A man with no goals clings to women for validation, constantly needing her time, energy, and reassurance. But a man with ambition doesn't beg for attention. He naturally commands it. When you're focused on your mission, your time becomes valuable, and women sense that. They feel the difference between a man who will drop everything for them and a man who makes them want to fit into his schedule. And trust me, the second man is always more desirable. Women also see ambition as a reflection of potential. She doesn't just look at who you are today, she looks at where you're going. If you're a man of vision, discipline, and growth, she knows being with you means adventure, stability, and a future worth investing in. That's why so many women say they find drive or passion sexier than looks or money. It's the energy of a man who refuses to settle. But ambition isn't just about career or money. It's about having standards, dreams, and refusing to live passively. Whether you're building a business, mastering your craft, or pushing your limits physically, your purpose gives your life gravity. And gravity pulls people in, especially women. At the end of the day, a man with ambition doesn't need to prove he's attractive. His purpose speaks louder than words, and that's why women don't just notice him, they chase him. 5. Charismatic communication. Words are powerful, but it's not just what you say. It's how you say it that makes you sexually irresistible. A man with charismatic communication knows how to use his voice, his energy, and his presence to draw people in, especially women. Charisma isn't about being the loudest guy in the room or trying too hard to be funny. It's about speaking with confidence, listening with intention, and creating an emotional connection through the way you express yourself. When a woman talks to a charismatic man, she doesn't just hear his words, she feels them. He knows when to slow down, when to pause, when to lean in just slightly to build tension. His eye contact makes her feel seen, his smile disarms her, and his storytelling makes her imagination run wild. Charisma turns simple conversations into magnetic moments. That's why some men can say the most basic things and still leave women thinking about them later. The delivery, the vibe, the emotional spark is unforgettable. Charismatic communication also comes from emotional awareness. You know how to read the room, sense her mood, and adapt without losing your authenticity. You know when to tease playfully, when to be serious, and when to flirt with subtlety that drives her crazy. Women love men who can make them laugh one moment, think deeply the next, and feel safe all in the same conversation. That range of expression makes her feel alive, and being around you becomes addictive. Here's another secret. Charisma is not about talking nonstop, it's about listening. When you listen with genuine focus, nodding, holding eye contact, asking questions that dig deeper than surface level chatter, women feel valued. Most men are too busy waiting for their turn to speak, but the charismatic man makes her feel like the star of the conversation. And when she feels seen and understood, attraction grows effortlessly. Your tone of voice also matters. A calm, grounded, and controlled tone is far more seductive than nervous chatter or forced bravado. Combine that with confident body language, relaxed posture, controlled gestures, and suddenly every word you speak carries weight. Charisma makes women feel like time disappears when they're around you. It's not forced, it's an energy, a flow. And once you master it, you won't just be a man she talks to, you'll be the man she can't stop thinking about long after the conversation ends. 6. Physical presence and style. Attraction is psychological, yes, but let's not ignore the obvious. Your physical presence matters. Before you even open your mouth, a woman has already picked up signals from how you look, how you move, and how you carry yourself. This isn't about being a male model or having Hollywood genetics. It's about maximizing what you have, taking care of yourself, and presenting a version of you that radiates strength, discipline, and sex appeal. A man who invests in his body and style signals that he respects himself, and women instinctively respect him more. Physical presence starts with your body. You don't need to be a bodybuilder, but you do need to look like a man who takes care of himself. A strong posture, broad shoulders, and a healthy, fit frame communicate protection and vitality. When you walk into a room upright, chest open, shoulders back, you immediately stand out from the crowd of men who slump and shuffle. Women notice these details. They see the discipline behind your physique, and discipline itself is sexually attractive. Then there's style. Clothes are not just fabric, they're signals. The way you dress tells women how much you value yourself. A man in clean, well-fitted clothes with attention to small details like grooming, shoes, and even scent communicates refinement. You don't need luxury brands. You need awareness. When your style matches your personality, women feel a powerful mix of intrigue and desire. A well-dressed man is rare, and rare is irresistible. Physical presence also comes from how you move. Slow, deliberate movements show control. Quick, nervous gestures signal insecurity. A man who moves with calm assurance instantly feels more dominant and magnetic. Combine that with a steady gaze and relaxed facial expressions, and you become the kind of man women can't ignore, even in a crowded room. And let's not forget scent. Science shows women are highly sensitive to smell, and the right cologne mixed with your natural chemistry can trigger deep attraction. It's subtle, but powerful. A man who smells good lingers in a woman's memory long after he's gone. In short, physical presence and style are the outer layers of your masculine energy. They amplify everything else: your confidence, your presence, your charisma. When you look like a man who respects himself, women feel a strong urge to respect and desire you too. And that combination makes you sexually unforgettable. 7. Mystery and unpredictability. The final trait that makes a man sexually irresistible to women is mystery. The art of not giving everything away, of keeping her guessing, of making her crave more of you because she can't quite figure you out. Most men sabotage attraction by being too available, too predictable, too eager to explain every detail about themselves. But the man who carries an air of mystery triggers a powerful psychological response: curiosity. And curiosity is the spark that fuels desire. Mystery doesn't mean you're shady or secretive. It means you don't hand over your entire life story in the first conversation. You let her discover you piece by piece, like a novel she can't put down. You reveal enough to engage her, but hold back enough to keep her imagination running wild. When she doesn't know what you'll say or do next, you become exciting. Predictability feels safe, but mystery feels addictive. And women are far more drawn to excitement than routine when it comes to sexual attraction. Unpredictability is part of this magnetic pull. If she knows exactly how you'll react every time, she gets bored. But if one day you're playful and teasing, and the next day you're calm and serious, she's hooked. Your unpredictability keeps her emotionally invested because she can't fully map you out. She's constantly trying to figure you out, and that investment makes her attraction grow stronger. Think of it like this: a woman's mind thrives on imagination. If you leave gaps, she fills them in with her own fantasies, and those fantasies often make you larger than life in her eyes. By being mysterious, you allow her to project her desires onto you, and that's far more powerful than over-explaining yourself. The key here is balance. Too much mystery, and you seem distant or unavailable. Too little, and you become boring. The sweet spot is when you give her just enough to stay intrigued while keeping layers she has to earn over time. Combine that with unpredictability in how you flirt, how you text, how you spend time with her, and you create an intoxicating mix she can't resist. In the end, mystery keeps desire alive. Because when she can't quite figure you out, she doesn't lose interest. She leans in closer. And that's when you become not just attractive, but unforgettable. When you look back at these 7 traits, you'll notice something powerful. They're not random tricks or pickup lines. They're the foundation of what it means to be a man women naturally crave: confidence, presence, emotional control, ambition, charismatic communication, physical presence, and mystery. Each one by itself is attractive, but together, they create a force that's impossible to ignore. These aren't superficial traits you fake for a night. They're qualities you build into your life until they become second nature. That's why women get hooked. They sense when it's real. The truth is, women aren't drawn to men who chase desperately or beg for attention. They're drawn to men who don't need validation because they're already complete. The irresistible man doesn't revolve his world around a woman. Instead, he invites her into a world that's already vibrant, purposeful, and exciting. That shift in mindset alone changes everything. When you stop seeking approval and start embodying these traits, attraction stops being a struggle. It becomes automatic. And here's the part most men don't realize: these traits aren't about manipulating women. They're about becoming the highest version of yourself. A man with discipline, focus, and presence is attractive not just to women, but to opportunities, respect, and success. Women are simply attuned to spot it faster because, on a deep, primal level, they want to align with strength. When you embody these 7 traits, you're not just a man she desires, you're a man she admires. Remember, being sexually irresistible isn't about perfection, it's about growth. Every time you hold eye contact instead of looking away, every time you stay calm instead of reacting, every time you choose purpose over laziness, you're becoming more magnetic. Attraction isn't built in a single moment, it's built brick by brick in how you live your life. So ask yourself, which of these traits do you already embody, and which ones do you need to sharpen? The man women can't resist isn't born, he's forged. And once you start living with confidence, presence, control, ambition, charisma, physical strength, and a touch of mystery, you'll notice something fascinating. You won't be the one chasing. Women will be drawn to you, competing for your attention because deep down they know men like you are rare, and rare is irresistible.